Hey you guys, welcome in to Divine Golden Master, where we master being divine at this 3D reality. So I wanted to drop a quick gem on you guys today because it's Pisces season. It's Pisces season. Those hidden aspects, those things that we try to hide deep on the inside could be coming out at this time for you to integrate them correctly. Move in a different way or reset boundaries, however it resonates for you. So I wanted to touch on something today that happens to a lot of us on our journey. And sometimes this happens when you're out of alignment of where you're supposed to be in life, right? And this is that your intuition can activate, y'all. And a lot of people think that your intuition is like quiet when you're going through things, you don't know the way, but a lot of people don't realize that your intuition actually gets louder a lot of the time if you're willing to pay attention and listen to it. And a lot of people mistake this energy for anxiety, confusion, or being lost. But a lot of times this is your intuition giving you that signal that you need to pay attention to. And when it comes to this aspect, your intuition is like an internal compass, right? It's like an internal compass. We know a compass is telling you which way, right? And when you're moving in a direction that aligns with your soul, things tend to feel calm, feel clear, flowing. Now, whether it's a relationship, an environment, or even your routine, your intuition can start speaking up more strongly, especially for people who don't really pay attention to their intuition, but they feel like they have a lot of anxiety, they feel like they're always worrying, or they just feel like, like something's constantly off. That's because their intuition's trying to speak to them and they're not listening, right? And this happens to a lot of us too, because we get numb, we get into patterns, we get into situations where we're not listening to that anymore and we're just going through the motions, like that zombie mode, right? That subconscious mode where we're just going through that routine, that pattern. And your intuition can start speaking up a lot more strongly when you're needing to listen. Sometimes it could show up as a feeling, or it's like something's not right, that unsettling feeling, right? And sometimes it'll show up as a pull toward a new place, a new path, or a different version of yourself, right? Literally. And for example, like I recently went somewhere that made me really feel alive. Miami. Y'all know we did that group ritual. Hey, that was one of the best group rituals I've ever done. I swear to God, I feel like that might have been the best ever, from how the feeling and the result. Anyway, if you know, you know. But I felt inspired. And not only did I feel alive, but I felt really inspired. And I felt excited to wake up in the morning. I felt very connected to myself there. And when I came back home, I was emotional. Okay? When I came back home, I started to notice that my intuition was a lot louder. And not because something was like wrong with me, or it wasn't any of that. It was because I had experienced a version of life that felt way more aligned than this version of life that I'm living here. And that really hit for me. Even when I landed, I just felt this reassurance feeling, this at home feeling, this I could breathe now feeling. And even just being at the water, connecting during the group ritual. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I haven't felt this good in months. And I wanted to touch on this with you guys, I just want to touch on 3 points today, because I feel like with us stepping into this 1 year, this 10 year, we're closing out a lot of cycles and we're starting a lot of new beginnings. And I want you guys to not be afraid to go after the things that you want, and know that you're deserving of that, right? So number one, your soul recognizes expansion. Y'all, I felt like I had went through a really, really bad breakup, or I lost a family member or something. I'm like, why am I feeling these emotions? Now, of course, we did do the group ritual, so I know I was releasing those emotions too, but it was just, the intensity was... And when you experience a place or a situation that aligns with you, your soul remembers. But yeah, your soul remembers that feeling. And that's why I always use discernment and trust, my spirit and my soul, and what I feel versus what I feel necessarily emotionally, right? Because those fluctuate. And your intuition will start to nudge you toward more of that. So pay attention, like when you just feel that feeling and you have that soul remembrance, right? Pay attention to that. Do not ignore that feeling. Okay? Now, the second thing is misalignment creates friction. When I came home, I felt misaligned. Now I feel scattered. Now I feel like, the world is ending. And when you're living in a situation that doesn't fully match who you're becoming, pay attention when you're in misalignment, because your body and your intuition are going to start to send you signals. But you got to be ready to pay attention. And you also got to be ready to not shut down to those signals, right? Work through those signals. I had to sit with myself like, what's going on? What's wrong? Let's talk through it. What you feeling? And I had to be honest with myself, right? And the third thing that I want to talk about too today is that growth makes your inner voice stronger. Who was that pulling up on my driveway? But yeah, growth makes that inner voice stronger, right? So it's a process, okay? And as you grow spiritually, your awareness increases, and the voice that used to be quiet becomes harder to ignore. So really get excited when you start to hear that loud anxiety or intuition. Sit with it and slow down, right? Slow down and listen to what your intuition is showing you. And be open to listening and receiving those answers. Don't rush to change everything overnight, right? Just because you get this intense feeling, and don't rush to change everything overnight, right? Use the information as guidance for your next steps. Okay? Your intuition isn't trying to panic you. It's trying to guide you. And you could play like 369 frequency, or and then like play like a 528 frequency to go ahead and balance your energy, remove anxiety. And when you still feel that feeling, or you still feel whatever it is, go ahead and sit with that. I gotta turn my car around, but if you've been feeling that internal pull lately, you're not crazy, all right? You're not crazy, and you're not alone. And sometimes that's just your intuition reminding you that you're evolving, right? It's not always asking you to do something, all right? So sometimes we just got to sit with the guidance and see what is our spirit team saying, all right? So y'all go ahead and comment below if you ever felt that shift where something inside you just knows you're meant for more, right? I've had this feeling since a kid, y'all. Since a kid, I've had this type of feeling about certain things and had just these inner knowings. Since a kid, I knew I wanted to live in Florida. Since a kid, I knew I wanted to be by the water, right? And now it's just really resonating heavily for me, because it's like, why haven't I gave that to myself? So I love y'all. I love yourself. Peace.